Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the internet itself and reveal the secret blueprint that builds every single thing you see online. You ever just look at a website, your favorite social media feed or a huge news site and wonder, how in the world did they build this? You might think it's some kind of complicated magic, but really, it all boils down to two simple core ideas. And the best way to get it is to think about building a house. On one side, you've got HTML. That's your blueprint, right? The actual structure, the walls, the roof, the foundation, all the stuff that holds the house up. And then you've got CSS. That's all the fun stuff, the paint, the furniture, the style that actually makes the house look good. One builds it, the other makes it beautiful. All right, so let's start with that foundation. Every digital house on the web is built with just a few basic HTML blocks. Okay, so the most basic fundamental piece of any web page is something called an HTML element. And really, all it is just a piece of content, like some words, wrapped up in a matching opening and closing tag. That's it. Think of them like little labels you stick on your content to tell the web browser, hey, this thing here, that's a paragraph. For example, here's one of the most basic bricks in our digital house, the paragraph element. You just wrap your text in these little P tags. You see the opening one and the closing one, and boom. Just like that, the browser knows, okay, got it, this is a paragraph. It really is that straightforward. And it's not just for plain old text. What if you want something people can, click on? Well, there's a button element for that. And look, it follows the exact same pattern. You wrap your words, like click me, inside button tags, and you've literally just created a real working button. See? Every element has its own special job to do. Okay, so our foundation is laid. The HTML structure is there, but let's be honest, it's looking a little boring. Now comes the really fun part, decorating our digital house with CSS. This is where we get to inject some personality. Remember this little guy? Our standard plain HTML button. I mean, it works, totally functional, but it's not exactly going to win any beauty pageants, right? This is our before picture. So to give it a makeover, we use something called a CSS rule. And a rule is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a set of instructions. We basically point to an HTML element, like our button, and give the browser a little to-do list of styling commands to run on it. And with just a few of those instructions, check this out. We can completely transform that plain button. We can give it a cool background color, make the text white so it pops, and even add those nice soft rounded corners. That is the incredible power of CSS. You're taking the exact same HTML structure and just making it look amazing. And we do all that using what are called CSS properties. Things like background color, pretty obvious what that does. Then there's color, which handles the text itself. That border radius thing, that's the secret sauce for those rounded corners. And of course, font size, to make the text bigger and easier to read. Every property controls one tiny piece of the visual puzzle. Awesome! Our individual pieces are looking great. But a website isn't just a jumble of cool-looking buttons, right? We have to arrange them. It's time to start putting the furniture in the right places and think about our page layout. But here's the thing. Just styling your elements isn't quite enough. If you just toss them on a page, they end up looking like this, all crammed together with zero breathing room. It's just not the clean, professional vibe we're going for. So how do we fix this? How do we create that all-important space and arrange everything so it looks clean, organized, and like we actually meant for it to be there? Well, the answer comes down to two super important CSS ideas. First up, you've got margin. Margin adds space on the outside of an element. It's like a personal bubble, pushing other things away from it. Then there's padding, which adds space on the inside of the element. The pillow stuffing analogy is perfect. It gives the content room to breathe. And a lot of the time, the solution is as simple as adding a little bit of margin. By just telling the browser, hey, create some space between these two things, we get this so much better, right? It's amazing how one little line of code can make such a huge difference to the design. All right, let's pull all this together. We've got our structure, we've got our style, and now we have our spacing. What we've just done is uncover the web's secret blueprint. And honestly, this is your key to understanding pretty much the entire web. Look, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. HTML gives the web structure. CSS gives it style. That separation is what makes the web so brilliant. It means you can completely redesign a website just by changing the CSS without ever touching the core HTML structure. That's what makes the web so incredibly flexible and powerful. And I'm not exaggerating here. I mean, from the simplest little blog to the most complicated apps you use every single day, this blueprint, HTML for the bones, CSS for the clothes, is the foundation for every single website you visit.
So, now you know the secret. A whole new layer of the internet is now visible to you. And I'll just leave you with this question. What blueprints are you going to discover? Seriously, the next time you're on any website, just right-click your mouse and hit Inspect. You can see the actual HTML and CSS for yourself. Go on, give it a try. It's pretty cool.